You're listening to the Sabrina Philipp podcast, episode 3. In this episode, I share with you my top 5 strategies for selling out your private coaching. If you're a coach with the heart to serve, but your offers are getting met with crickets, keep listening.
You're listening to the Sabrina Philipp podcast. In this show, online business coach and self-made millionaire Sabrina Philipp shows you how to do entrepreneurship your way. She moved to Bali with $800 in her bank account and just 1 year later had scaled her business to 7 figures. Sabrina has been featured in Forbes, Business Insider, Goldcast, and Cosmopolitan. Using her signature, intentional, manageable, profitable framework, Sabrina helps women make millions online. Currently traveling the world, tune in each week as she reveals the best tips, tricks, and strategies for creating the intentional life and business of your dreams. Here's your host, Sabrina Philipp.
Hey everyone, you're listening to the Sabrina Philipp podcast. This is episode 3, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 tips to selling out your private coaching packages. Make sure to go ahead and rate and review on Apple Podcasts, and go ahead and subscribe so that you get notified anytime a new episode gets released. So as I said, today we're going to be talking about selling out your private coaching. And this is something I'm so passionate about because this is a great way to give you a baseline of income, and it is recurring, which is awesome because packages are usually around 3 to 6 months for most people. And it really just boosts your confidence and it relieves anxiety when it comes to knowing where's the money going to come in from every month. So I usually recommend to new clients who are just getting started to focus on selling out private coaching first. Now, this is going to be different for everybody, but let's say you're thinking about, releasing a group program or maybe an online course, but you only have 1 or 2 private clients. It might be worth selling out your private coaching first so you have that income and you don't need to stress about it. So private coaching is not something I do a ton of these days. This, as I'm recording this here in October in Edinburgh, 2019, I currently charge about 6 figures a year for my private coaching. So it's not something that I do too often because I like to free up some of my time for other things. But if private coaching is how you want to be making the base of your income, that's awesome. That's something that a lot of clients do really well. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing bad about that. It's actually pretty great because you get to work with people and help them have deep, truly incredible transformations that will change their lives and businesses and maybe even their families and communities. So that's why I love private coaching. And if you want to learn how to sell out your private coaching, keep listening. So the first thing that I want to share, the first tip that I have when it comes to selling out your private coaching is to design your program with your ideal client in mind and start with the transformation first. So many people will create programs, whether that's private coaching or anything else, with the structure in mind first. So they'll say, I want to have a 6-week online course, or I want to have a 3-month group program, or I want to have a 1-year mastermind, whatever it is. And they try to stuff that transformation into that tiny little box that they've created. They are more focused on getting that result in the box that they've created rather than shaping the box to fit the transformation. So what I teach my clients to do is to go through 3 steps, which I call transformation process structure. If you're in my programs, you've heard me talk about this. If you've ever worked with me, you've heard me talk about this. I talk about this all the time and it makes all the difference. So first thing you want to start with is transformation. So if you're going to be selling private coaching packages, instead of thinking, oh, I want it to be 3 months or 6 months, don't worry about any of that. First thing first, what's the transformation? What's point A to point B? What do you want to have happen? And here's the thing. You can have really big transformations and you can have some smaller transformations, and they don't need to be the same package. But for 80% of clients who are taking that package, what's that transformation going to be? What is it going to look like? And so for me, the transformation that I had in mind when it came to my 6-month private coaching packages back in the day was I wanted to have people making 6 figures a year in their business. That was my goal. And so that was the transformation that I had in mind. Point A, they're struggling. They're making inconsistent money online. Point B, they have monthly recurring revenue. They're making $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month in their business. Their private coaching is sold out. They're marketing really well. That was the transformation. And so the next thing I had to ask myself was, okay, well, in order to get someone to the point where they're making 6 figures in their business, what's everything that they would need to learn or go through or experience in order to get to that point? And so I started writing out things like content marketing and branding and messaging, and hiring their first VA and all of these things. And so I turned that into a process, which was amazing because it also helped me guide my private coaching with them, where I knew the exact steps I needed to take them through. So it never felt like they were just getting on a phone and asking me random questions for an hour a week, but there was really an intention of the steps they needed to go through in order to hit that transformation. And then finally, after I had all of that, after I knew the transformation, after I knew the process to get there, then I could go ahead and put in place that structure. So for me, the structure that felt best was having clients meet with me 3 times a month for 50 minutes, having clients stay with me for 6 months, and having them have Basecamp access, which is pretty much the same as Messenger access or Voxer access, but Basecamp was the tool that I used. So they would message me in Basecamp and I would assign them to-dos and they would share files with me. And that was the best possible structure for the transformation, knowing the process I had to take them through. So that's the first tip when it comes to selling out your private coaching. Really understand why your private coaching is designed in the way that it is and communicate that to your ideal clients. Communicate that on sales calls. Communicate that in your marketing, because if people don't know why they need your package, if they don't know why they need everything that's included, they're going to question that and doubt that. But if you really sell them on your process and your approach to coaching, you're going to sell them on the package. So really be clear on what is going to be best for your ideal client, not how long you think it should be or want it to be, but really with them in mind. So that's my first tip. My second tip for selling out private coaching is to create some urgency and treat it like a launch. So a lot of times when it comes to getting started in online business, most of us will usually only have 1 or 2 offers. It might be, for coaches, a private coaching package plus a one-time intensive, and that's all you sell. And so day after day, you're posting in Facebook groups and on your Instagram saying, book a call with me, let's see if we want to work together. The problem is that if people think they can sign up with you whenever they feel ready, they're never going to sign up, because people will never feel ready to do anything. And also, if you have forever to do something, you're going to take forever to actually get it done. So what's amazing about a launch is it naturally creates urgency, because launches are the introduction of a new product or idea to the marketplace, and there is an open cart and a closed cart. There is a time when doors close and that's it. So what I did with my private coaching when I first got started in business is I decided that I was going to do 1 week where I really, really, really pushed my private coaching packages. So at that point, I had a few clients, but I was really looking to take it to the next level. At the time, I was charging $7,500 for 6 months. So there was, I think maybe a $2,500 or 50% deposit, and then they would pay something every month for 5 months after that, something like that. And that was awesome because I was able to get a bunch of people in at once, which created a huge cash injection. But also I was able to have that monthly recurring revenue coming in for 6 months to come. And I sold all my spots out at once. So I didn't have to worry about marketing that program all the time. I could move on to marketing something else, like a group program or a course. So what I decided to do is I decided that I was going to do a 5-day live stream series, which I called Start a Business and See the World, where I was going to talk every day for 5 days about different topics that people needed to know or understand in order to feel comfortable starting a business that would allow them to go be a digital nomad or stay at home with their kids or whatever it is that they wanted to do. And I spent maybe a week promoting the live stream series. I had a lead pages opt-in form created that I set up myself, and I had people sign up for it. And what I did was I just put out a post in my Facebook group, The Intentional Entrepreneur, and I said, next week I'm going to do a 5-day live stream series teaching you everything you need to know to start an online business. Drop an emoji down below in order to get access. And so everyone was dropping emojis. Everyone was saying, I want to come, I want to come. And I would go and I would respond to each person with the link to sign up. And so if you've ever heard the term ladder post, that's what it is. It's basically just a bunch of people dropping emojis or comments and then coming back in with the link. So we had about 1,000 people, maybe 1,200 people sign up for that. And what happened was after they signed up for the live stream series, it automatically redirected them to a page where there was a tripwire, which a tripwire is a low cost offering, usually less than $100. in order to basically trip that sales wire. So the idea is if somebody buys from you once, statistically, they're more likely to buy from you again. So it might be easier to kind of get that low cost sale at the beginning and then kind of get them later on. So I had a tripwire of a 30-minute private coaching call with me for $111. Now, this was a little unconventional because it was higher priced, but my thinking was that if someone was willing to spend $111 to get on the phone with me for 30 minutes, then they were willing to invest and they were interested in private coaching. So of the 1,000 people that signed up, maybe 11 people converted. I think it was 10 or 11 people converted. So that was also a nice little boost. I made $1,000 off of that. But it was on those 11 30-minute coaching calls, I was able to convert every single person either into a private coaching package or into the group program that I launched maybe a month or so after that. So every single person who got on the phone with me, I was able to convert. Some people would get on the phone with me and they would just immediately ask me about my private coaching and they treat it like a sales call. But if they didn't do that, then I just treated it like a normal coaching call and I helped them get a micro transformation so that they would see my skill set, they would connect with me. And then if there was space for it at the end of that call, I would, start talking to them about my program and say, hey, if you're interested in working with me more, here's an opportunity to do that. So that week where I was doing those live streams, every single day, I would pitch my private coaching. I would tell people that at the end of the week, I was going to raise my private coaching rates from $7,500 to $10,000. So there was a level of urgency there. I would also update every single day and say, yesterday I signed up one more client. Yesterday I signed up two more clients. So people knew that spots were running out. And it was that urgency of now or never, now or the price goes up, now or the spots run out, that pushed people to go ahead and sign up for my private coaching. And within that 1 week, I had made $40,000 in sales from private coaching. And that element of really treating it like a launch was a game changer for me. So go ahead and maybe think about your private coaching as a launch, and that can be a really great way to sell it out. And that's my second tip for you. Now, one thing that I mentioned on just a few minutes ago, and something that's going to actually be my third tip for you, is to go ahead and have people buy a one-time session and then upsell them into private coaching. So that's my third tip, is to have a one-time session available for sale and then upsell people into private coaching and offer to credit the cost of that one-on-one offer. So here's what that might look like. Let's say you have a 3-month private coaching package for $2,500. What you might do is let people know that they can book a one-time session with you for $297 for 1 hour. At the end of that 1 hour, ask them, how did it go? How did that feel for you? What were your big takeaways? What are you going to do next with this? And just pick up that conversation, get started, and then let them know that if they're interested in more support with you, that you have a 3-month offer available or however long it is, and that you're going to credit the cost of the session they just had and put it toward the next one. So it would be $2,500 minus that $297 that they just paid. That is such an easy win for people. It feels so good for them. They've already invested with you. They've already had an amazing opportunity, an amazing experience. And now they also get to take off the cost of what they just paid. So in their mind, they're not losing anything. It's a sales psychology trick where people actually feel like they're saving, even though financially it's still the same amount, right? And so that's a really great way to go ahead and kind of take people into that next thing. So I've done that many different times in my business. Even when I treated private coaching like a launch, I had that element where I had that 30-minute coaching session for $111. And I would say, hey, if you want to work with me further, here's that opportunity. Later on, I was selling 3-hour private coaching packages, 3-hour intensives. And I would say, if you're interested in working with me, here's that cost. Let's go ahead and do that. And that converts so well because people have already invested once. So they've tripped that sales wire. They have already had a micro transformation with you. So they know they like you and they feel like they're saving money because, hey, you can credit the cost toward the package. So that would be my third tip for selling out your private coaching. If you are really just pushing your package, and you're not getting a ton of interest, mix it up and offer a one-time session or a one-time intensive, and then focus on those people and offer to go ahead and upsell them into something bigger and give them even more support. Because at the end of the day, what this is all about is transformation and results. And if they have already had that experience with you on a 1-hour call or 30-minute call or whatever it is, help them imagine and understand what could be possible if they worked with you for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, however long your offer is. So that was my third tip. Have people buy a one-time session and then upsell them to private coaching and offer to credit that cost. Now, my fourth tip when it comes to selling out your private coaching is to get comfortable with the sale. So you really need to get comfortable with asking people to invest in your offers. And when I look at new clients and I try to understand and analyze what's going wrong, why are they not able to sell out their offers? If there are people who are able to get people on the phone, let's say my client is able to get potential clients on the phone, but they almost never close them, then usually the reason why is because they are not comfortable asking for the sale. And what that might look like is, let's say, someone signs up for a discovery call with you and you're talking with them and 20 minutes later, it's time to talk about the package. And you might say, oh, okay, well, if you're interested, just send me an email, or, oh, okay, I'll email you with the prices. There's just this tension and they just tighten up and they become so nervous because they think, oh my God, I can't ask for that much money. Oh my God, they're going to judge me, or oh my God, they're going to say no, or, they probably need to think about it, or they probably need to ask their spouse. And you are creating objections for them and just punishing them and pushing them away and saying, you can't have this right now. You've got to wait for it. And so the problem with this is that we know statistically that you are 80% less likely, like you're totally going to lose that sale if you have it be done via email. If you go ahead and ask that person on the phone, are you interested? I think you'd be a great fit for this program. What do you think? You're so much more likely to go ahead and close that sale. Now, there might be people who are maybe not doing private coaching and maybe they're big agencies and they need to prepare proposals. I get that. That's fine. But then my tip for you would be to go ahead and encourage a follow-up call to be scheduled while still on that call. You need to get a micro commitment. If you're not getting that sale, get a micro commitment where it's like, okay, I completely understand you need to talk to your husband. Why don't we book a call for 3 days from now? And that's a great way to keep them, coming back and to get them back on the phone. A lot of times the reason why people are uncomfortable asking for the sale is because they see sales as icky and slimy. We kind of think about sleazy car salesmen who are just trying to push something on you that you don't really want, or, trying to sweet talk you into something that you don't need. But that's never the energy that I bring to sales. So if you're not comfortable with asking for the sale, let's reframe what that means. So sales is an opportunity to serve. It's a chance for you to say, hey, I think that this would really help you. And so go into that sales call wanting to understand, what are their pain points? What are their desires? What are they stuck with? And really think about and feel into the ways that you could help them get from point A to point B. And if you're coming at it from that perspective of, I'm just here to serve, I'm just here to help, then that's going to be feeling so much better for you. That is going to feel so much better. It's going to feel so much easier. And when it comes time to actually asking for the sale, you're going to feel a lot more confident. One thing I will also say about asking for the sale is pause. So a lot of times you might ask for the sale. You'll be like, Sabrina, I did it. I asked for the sale. Where you'll go, hey, do you want to buy this? It is $3,000. Oh, okay, well, thank you. Well, let me know. Email me your offer. That also doesn't work. You have to give them a moment to pause and think and respond. Even if it's uncomfortable, I just want you to sit there quietly and wait for them to say something. Even if the thing that they say is, I need to think about it, give them that space to think right there on the phone, in the video chat, before you hop off the call. Create that pause, create that moment, create that space. If you get good at asking for the sale, and if you work on sales calls and you work on sales techniques, you're going to be so much more likely to close your private coaching packages. So that was my fourth tip for you. Now, my fifth and final tip would be to follow up with warm leads. So a lot of times when it comes to promoting private coaching packages, what people will do is they'll post all over Facebook groups or all over Instagram and they'll say, hey, I've got this thing for sale, book a call, book a call, book a call, book a call. And it kind of just indiscriminately goes out into the universe. But the thing is, we are at the end of the day converting people, not Facebook groups, right? So this is a really good opportunity to make a lead tracker. This is something you can do really simply on a piece of paper or in Google Sheets, where you just have a tab with everybody's name, and then you have notes on the last time you spoke to that person and what you spoke to them about. So conventional sales psychology might tell you that you need 7 touch points with someone before they buy your thing. There's some people who will say, actually, it's more like 40 touch points. Regardless of how many touch points it is, the point remains the same. You need to talk to somebody more than once. You need to get in somebody's feed and face more than once before they feel comfortable investing with you. And at the end of the day, the people who are most likely to convert with private coaching are the ones who have seen your post before, spoken to you before, left comments on your Instagram. That's not always going to be the case. There's definitely always silent lurkers. But when it comes down to really selling this out and getting that sale, start paying attention to the people who are paying attention to you. Reach out to them, send them a message. Hey, Sarah, I saw you liked the last couple of my Instagram posts. I'm so glad that my message is resonating with you. Is there anything I can help you with? Start up those conversations. Really focus on warm leads. If there was someone who reached out about private coaching 3 months ago and said, no, not now, and you completely forgot about them, reach out to them again. If there was someone who bought one of your ebooks or bought a one-time session a few months ago, reach back out. Your warm leads are really where the money is. The fortune is in the follow-up. So track those leads, get back in contact with them, because those people who are hot and ready, even if they are hot and ready, they still need you to ask for the sale. So all of this comes back down to really thinking about your ideal client, what they need, and giving them space to have those transformations and make the decision that is best for them with your support and guidance. So those are my 5 tips to selling out your private coaching. I absolutely love private coaching. I think it is where we can have some of the biggest possible transformations with our clients. And it is such powerful work, whether you're doing relationship coaching, life coaching, business coaching, it doesn't matter. Your work matters and your work helps people. So just remember that. Always remember that your work is of service to the world, and you getting paid for it is not a bad thing. It's an equal energy exchange. And hopefully these tips are going to make that process a little bit more comfortable for you. So as I said, that was episode 2 of the Sabrina Philipp podcast. Make sure to rate and review and subscribe and follow us all over the interwebs. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Sabrina Philipp podcast. New episodes are released every Wednesday. If you love this episode all about sales skills and you know it's time to take yours to the next level and you want 2020 to be the year that you make massive bank, then you're going to want to check out my new sales course called Sold Out Sales. This course is a live 6-week course that will take you from nobody buying to solidly and consistently closing sale after sale. It is open from March 5th through 18th for the one and only time in 2020. In this course, you're going to learn how to sell yourself on your value, who your ideal clients are and how to speak to them, how to structure your sales calls, how to filter your leads, why the fortune is in the follow-up, how to close like a boss in the DMs, how to develop your product suite, how to structure your offers, pricing strategies for charging what you're worth and raising your rates, and a million things more. You will walk away from Sold Out Sales with a complete and total sales system to take your life and business to the next level. And like all my online courses, you also have lifetime access. So if you ever need a refresher, you can always come back. So as I said, this course is only open for one time in 2020 from March 5th through 18th. Go to sabrinaphilipp.com/sold-out-sales to enroll. And all of the details are in the show notes down below. I would love to see you on the inside, and I'll catch you on next week's podcast episode.